Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I thought today we'd do a vlog because my parents are out on a 3-week vacation. My dad will be actually back Friday, and then me and my sister are gonna go on Sunday to go visit my mom where she's at. But I thought I'd like today do a quote-unquote FASD practicing living independently video. So kind of like a day in the life sort of video, because me and my sister have been home alone for 3 weeks and we've been doing really well. So I kind of want to bring you guys along for that. And that's how I do my hair. Because I have a condition called arthrogryposis, which is a joint contracture condition, and I can't raise my arms above my head. It's as far as they go. So doing my hair is really hard. So I learned recently, maybe in the last 2 years, that if I lay on my bed and do it that way, then I can do my hair. One of the things I hate doing is brushing my teeth. This is a huge sensory trigger for me. So I've never been good at the whole brushing my teeth and teeth hygiene thing, but I'm trying to get better. And so one of the things I use is, I took off the wrapper, but this is a kid's toothpaste, and this is a kid's mouthwash. So it's not as burny feeling to deal with.
You say it's hard to tell just what I'm thinking. You think it's hard to see, but...
Okay, we're done brushing teeth. Yay. Probably wondering, why the hell did I just show that? Like, why is that so important? Everyone brushes their teeth. Yeah, but people with FASD can really struggle with, like, self-care things. And so I thought it was really important to kind of show that aspect of FASD. Like I said before, teeth brushing is not my favorite thing to do. So I just wanted to show, like, hey, you can do it too if you're having sensory aversion to sort of daily life tasks, like brushing your teeth, which I did. Yay! The things you have to be careful about shoveling snow if you live in a place where you don't have to shovel snow. There's something called heart attack snow. This is a real thing where people can have heart attacks because the snow is too heavy. So you really, 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 really have to be careful when shoveling snow. Fun fact for whoever doesn't have to shovel snow. I took a little break and I was listening to an audiobook on Spotify, and I'm very much into like fantasy novels. So I know there's a book series that's really popular. I think it's been out for like a year or two, and it's called Fourth Wing, and it's pretty good. So I've been sort of addicted listening to that. I enjoy audiobooks. I can read, but sometimes the voices, if it's a really good voice, I don't know if you call it a voice actor when you're listening to audiobooks, but it's a really good voice reading the books, then it can be really good. So I've been enjoying it. I'm on chapter 7, track 7, so I guess that's chapter 7. And it's been pretty good so far. It's an interesting premise. I've also been listening to, where are my audiobooks? Oh, This is another fantasy book. I'm almost done it. I've read it before, but I found it in audiobook form, which I find more convenient than buying books, called Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. And that is also a really good fantasy book. I really, really like this one. This one's super dark, and the premise is really, really good. So I've already technically read, I think I've technically stopped reading it on maybe even book 3. But then I realized there was an audiobook, and I have Spotify Premium, so I started to read the series again, and they were all on the premium version, so I've started to listen to that. So Spellslinger is also, if you're really into fantasy and magic, Spellslinger is really good too. Made my bed. I find this tracking on this camera annoying because it will track me and then it will get confused and then track something completely different and get stuck, and I don't realize it. And then I look at the footage and realize that it's not been following me for the past 5 minutes. So that's my only problem with this camera, I find, with the tracking feature. It's not as good as it's claiming it is, because it can't tell the difference between my face or the faces on my puzzle, and then it gets confused and thinks it has to track those faces. So I need to figure out if it's a setting that I'm using or that's just what it does. So I take a gamble when I do tracking on this thing, praying that it doesn't stop tracking me. Sit down and I could read part of my speech to you guys. This is going to be a little bit all over the place. It's kind of like just a little snippet of what I've been writing. And I was wondering if you guys want me to read my whole speech and then put it in parts. And then each part you can go into the comment section and ask me questions, and then I can do a Q&A based on the parts of my speech that I've been doing. I thought that could be interesting. So here's a little snippet. Oh, that is not my speech. That is someone's fan fiction. It's going to seem like a little bit out of context, but I think this is important. There wasn't a lot of understanding and sympathy in the early 2000s. There wasn't a lot of disability conversation. I didn't have disabled role models on TV or cartoons. There was no TikTok or Instagram where I could see someone who was deaf or in a wheelchair to share their stories. I think it was a very isolating time for disabled people. So when I had the opportunity to go into the special education program, it was a chance for me to befriend people like me and to not feel alone in the struggles that I was facing at the time. My parents were not at all excited for this transition in my school life because it was a reality check that I was not progressing like I should, that I was struggling so much, that I needed to be removed from where my sister was and where my friends were, to be put in a specific class that let everyone else know I was different. That was a very hard reality for them to have to sit with. I was in grade 4 at the time, and I was really struggling with friendships. The bullying had gotten even worse. The catty popular behavior had ramped up to another level. In grade 4, I was also when we started to learn French. And I was struggling in those lessons so much that the principal and vice principal and CERT decided exempting my sister and I. That was also hard for my mom to see because she grew up in Quebec. That was her second language, and for her children not to have some simple conversation was hard to accept. I remember my mom and dad sitting me down and explaining why I needed to be put into the spec ed program. That's the short version of special education, is spec ed. They said that the class size was smaller and there were more EAs and support. There would be less noise and distraction. I agreed and began to go into the spec ed class part-time for the rest of grade 4. It was one of the best decisions that needed to be done at the time. The confidence and skills that I gained in the spec ed class is one of the reasons I feel confident enough to speak with you today. One of the things that we did in the class was interest talks. One person had to talk about something to the class and we would each have a day. I found that just talking with no script in front of me was very challenging. So I decided to write up what I would say, and this in turn turned into writing up what I did on trips or going somewhere on the weekend or doing something cool. I guess it was helping me build confidence in talking and reading out of pieces of information. I'm doing that right now as I talk to you guys. Being able to work at my pace and I didn't have to feel like I was always asking questions also helped me with confidence. It didn't really bother me that my book said level 2 when I was in grade 4. It didn't bother me because the freedom to be able to get my work done independently was a feeling that I had slowly lost when I was in the mainstream class. To have friends that were disabled like me also helped. I didn't need to try to pretend to be something I wasn't. There was no pressure to follow trends in the classroom because everyone was at so many different points in their emotional and cognitive ability that it wasn't fair to judge someone on their different things. We just enjoyed being together and having this connection with each other. Alright, so I just filmed a YouTube video called, I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's going to be like misconceptions about drinking alcohol while pregnant and FASD. So I'm going to show you a clip here. Number 5. And this is a big one and I don't understand it. And a lot of people will say this in my comment section. And I've actually had to stitch some people with this misinformation, having to clear this up. Women in Europe drink while pregnant without issue. So right now that's just boiling. Probably gonna turn it off at some point. But that's our meat sauce with, put in that. We have some Parmesan cheese in here that we can grate in here. So we can grate some parm. Let's see how well it tastes. Jesse says it's very good.
Yes, it is. How nice this is.
And you like it with the meat?
Yes, yeah, very nice. Yeah, that's actually really, really nice.
Let me try now.
That's good, isn't it?
Okay. We can make our own
Our own spaghetti, yeah.
Our own cheap, fast, easy version of spaghetti. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. Cool. That's really good. Well, I think that's going to be the end of the vlog today. I'm not going to be doing much else other than chilling on my bed for the rest of the night. And I don't really have a specific nighttime routine, except taking melatonin for my sleep disorder. So it's really not exciting. So thank you for coming along today as I did some practice of my speech. I did a YouTube video, I shoveled, I made dinner with lovely spaghetti, and not much else gonna happen tonight. So, with that, thanks for coming along, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.